I'm going to start this video off real quick with something I should have said at the beginning and say you can listen to this video and don't actually have to watch this video. So you can like listen to it in the background if you're doing something. This video is just me staring at the camera for like 20 minutes. It's okay. You don't have to. I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm just saying, like, if you're busy, but you're like, oh, I want to see what this is about. It's something you can listen to and like continue like playing a game or working on something. There you go. All right, cool. The first video of 2022, technically the last video I did was the TTT 1-year anniversary video, and I didn't intend for that to be the final video of the year. Funny enough, what happened was just a lot of things kind of fell through, and that's how I kind of ended 2021 on the channel, unfortunately. I know the running thing that I had going was that I stayed up, for example, editing. Or I didn't stay up editing. I stayed up because Capstan wouldn't eat. And that's the thing we've been doing back and forth for like half a year at least, between mainly in VR chat. So I knew that would be somewhat believable. But in all honesty, I was editing that video for like 30 hours because something kept going wrong while I was trying to edit it. And as fun as it was to do, don't get me wrong, it just kind of drained me after that one. So I just did not get out any of the other videos that were intended to come out before 2021 ended, or even just going into 2022. So hi, this is the first time we've technically seen each other, especially in this kind of a format since then. So TLDR, no. I mean, like, yeah, we kind of do that back and forth thing when it comes to her eating and my sleeping, but that actually wasn't. I just kind of used that as a cover for that because I knew some of you would be even more upset if you knew that's why I was actually up. But I've had sleeping problems for like 2 months now for some reason. So, you know, there we go. I guess what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down a couple of things because, to be completely honest, and I always feel guilty saying this, 2020 nor 2021 even, now that they've ended, were the worst years in my own personal life. That crown still belongs to 2017. There's this like religious theory or saying, I believe, it might be multiple religions even, where it's like hell is whenever you're separated from God, meaning that, and at least in some, that earth is hell because you're separated from heaven because you're separated from God. 2017 definitely was a good hypothesis to test that. Let's just put it that way. It still kind of reigns king on a personal level. The next closest one would probably be, unfortunately, not all of 2015, but something that happened in 2015 that was rather sad. I don't really talk about it often, but it was really unfortunate. So yeah. But the reason I say I feel guilty about that is because for a lot of people, and especially like on a global sense, you know, 2020 and 2021 were really bad years for people. But personally, if I'm honest, 2020 was the year, and of course, because we all were forced to be home, that I got to either know a lot of people that I already knew better or meet a lot of people that to this point are like in my lives daily, if not at least weekly at this point. So it was like getting to know and meet cool people that are like around often and we do a lot of cool stuff together, or people that I kind of already knew, I got to know a lot better and kind of get to go, you know, have more inside jokes or more memories or stuff like that. And of course it was like an unfortunate, it's kind of like high school, where in high school you might have a group of friends and I hate wording it this way, but like you're forced to see them every day because that's what your whole job is at that point in existence, is just to go to school and, you know, get the good grades and then maybe have some classes with them and stuff. And so, you know, before school, in certain classes, maybe during lunch, after school, you get to meet these same people over and over because it's all your same schedule. It was kind of like that with the lockdown and stuff. It's like we had nothing really else to do. So, I mean, why not be in VR chat till 5 in the morning every day? Because where I'm going to go tomorrow, I don't need to sleep to wake up to go somewhere, except back into VR chat or something, or college and stuff like that too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's my kind of take on that. Is I'm actually really appreciative of those years because of that. Now, granted, I sympathize, of course, with the world and obviously the lockdown, the reason we had the lockdown. They were bad years. I'm not saying they're not bad years, by the way. I'm just saying what I ended up able to do in those years, I'm pretty sure I botched that sentence. You could probably tell the lack of sleep I've been getting now, the 2 months. It's really starting to kick in more and more lately. But the thing about those is I kind of took the positives out of them, because otherwise those years would have been complete washes, and I refuse to live years anymore. I'm getting old now, all right? I refuse to live a year, especially an entire, not like a month, not like a week, not a bad day, a whole year, and say that I got nothing out of it, I could not, I refuse, basically. Which is kind of why I'm making this video too, is because originally I was going to try and make a video that was kind of talking about, don't make a New Year's resolution. And not because I think New Year's resolutions are stupid. It's just more like a lot of people set these goals for themselves that if they miss like even a day of it, they feel terrible about themselves. So the whole point originally when I was going to make the video was like, hey, structure it a certain way that you're allowed to fail and it's okay. Because sometimes failure is just a learning lesson anyway. I know we've all heard that, and maybe it's cliche at this point, but it really is. If you're not failing, it means possibly you're not trying hard enough to succeed or learn new things. Mainly that latter one too. So by all means, if you're going to say, I want to go to the gym more often, that's fine. Maybe you want to get in shape, and that's okay. I know somebody who wanted to get in a different shape than they were 3 years ago. That's totally fine. But don't make it like I need to go every Saturday, and if I don't go, it's over. I'm the worst kind of a thing. You'll hate yourself. Do not hate yourself in 2022, all right? Look, what was I going to say? Oh, I had a point connected to this, and it was the idea of like even doing this, uploading, or if you're a streamer, for example, if you have a rigid schedule, I'm feeling good. If you have a rigid schedule, all right, and you miss like a day or two, that's what I mean. You're going to feel really bad because you're going to feel like this is all I had to do was this one thing, and I couldn't do this one thing, and now it's terrible. Whether it's uploading a video at noon every day or going live on Twitch at like 5 p.m. I'm not saying don't try and have like a loose schedule or something. If you want to try and get multiple streams or videos uploaded a week, that's fine. What I'm saying is when you have it super rigid, you open the door for failure. And you can challenge yourself to do stuff like that. That's fine. I'm not going to stop you. But what I'm saying is whatever goal you're going to set for this year, do not make it so that when you fail, you hate yourself. Like I said, do not hate yourself in 2022. Make 2022 the year of positives as much as you can. Because I know for a lot of people, 2020 and 2021 were terrible. I understand that. And I agree that they were like bad years for the world at large and everything too. But basically, I guess what I'm saying is, and part of why I'm making this video is because how 2021 ended and how 2022 was rang in, okay? So 2019 was VR chat. Hopping around VR chat a lot with Suki and Steam mainly. And by the time I got to the West Coast, everybody was tired and left. Suki and Steam hung on. That was kind of fun. 2020, the servers, because everybody was home, were so overpacked that I just remember I was instead in a call with like Digi and Crimson and some people, and we just started a Minecraft like vanilla server instead because we just couldn't get on VR chat. Some people could, and that was actually kind of cool. So speaking of like Graphic and Lucy and Suki and some other people, they were like in the VR chat picture section. Some of them got to get in and get pictures and everything, and I'm happy for them. I'm not actually, that's not sarcastic. I am happy for them. It's just for some of us, the servers were just so busted. We just could not get in, so that's what we did for that. But this year, something kind of special happened, and for one, I wish I would have screenshot it because I think Graphic said something that's kind of similar. But essentially, if I could summarize it, is I got to have my cake and eat it too. And what I mean is I started off with mechanics and Steam and some people, and because it was a Friends Plus, some people swang through that I hadn't seen in maybe years in VR chat. Some old friends that swang through. Swang's a word now, I don't care. And I got to see some people I haven't seen in a while. I got to see Steam and the Mechanics crew. And then Digi and some others started migrating over from DPN and Blue and people as well. So I got to see that squad. And I got to see Digi and squad as well. And I got to basically see everybody in VR chat without feeling like, oh, I missed somebody or I missed a group of people. And that was great. Now, when it came to the actual West Coast specific countdown, let me address something. Because a lot of people actually stuck around because the West Coast was the only coast left. Tanks had to go to work, unfortunately. But like me and Keo and some people were actually on the West Coast. And let me put it this way. My brother might have not had New Year's Eve off in maybe half a decade. Same with my mother for that instance, in terms of our stars aligning. So me, my brother, my mother, my sister. I don't talk about them a lot on the channel and talk about their business. But in this case, it was kind of special because they did. So what ended up happening was we, for the first time in, like I said, maybe half a decade, got to actually watch the Space Needle fireworks show and ring in the new year together. Poured some black cherry and everything. Had some New Year's drink with them. And that's something that we haven't got to enjoy in quite some time. And that's not to blame any of them, by the way. Like, work is work. I'm not blaming anybody, but like the last couple of years, even, yeah, someone was always at work or doing something on New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year. And so for the first time, I got to do that with three of the most important people in my life that I haven't got to do that with in quite some time. So don't get me wrong, said friends and stuff. Y'all are important too, but that was something that might not come back for another half a decade. So like the next 4 years, you might get me on when it comes to New Year's, but that was something that I wanted and needed to partake in, and I'm glad that I did. I actually still had VR chat open and running and everything, and that's why Monokuma and like people's like clips and stuff is pointed at the camera. So I still had that actually pointed at the camera and stuff, but I was muted and everything because I rang in New Year with them instead, and I don't regret that, to be honest. But basically that's what I mean, had my cake and eat it too. There's a lot of good stuff that happened, and if that's the way 2022 is going to be rang in between that and like there's a lot of good Christmas messages and a New Year's message that I got from people, like directly, like DM'd from people, so it was like specific towards me, and that hit different too, actually, so thank you for those as well. I feel like 2022 is going to be a good year then, if that's the way we're going to start it off. Well, maybe not Monday. Monday was a I'm going to admit, a bad-ish day. I had a migraine. No one did anything. None of y'all did anything. I just had a migraine. So I couldn't have joined in on stuff if I wanted to. And I kind of did want to, but like I just was so drained from it that I just wouldn't bring the energy that I'm used to bringing to it. So we're going to ignore Monday. But the rest of the time so far, like 2022 has been rang in. It's actually been a little bit of a weird year, but hopefully that's a sign that it's going to be a good year. And so this video is kind of longer than I wanted it to be, because what I also want to take the time to do, why not, is address some things on the channel that we're going to be doing going forwards, like the Sonic Marathon. Steam's going to be happy about this one. For the longest, Steam's been wanting me to do this idea where I play through every Sonic game as far back as I can get one. So I know Steam, like the app, like the store, has some of the classics, so we'll probably play some of the classics, take a break, play some other things, play the Adventure series again, so Sonic Adventure 2, take a break, you know, play through stuff like that as much as we can, leading up to the new game coming out later on in the holiday season this year. So Steam will be excited for that, if nothing else. We will be doing the Danganronpa 2 school mode finally. I was really bad at the first one, so I really don't see the hype about doing the second. I mean, I want to do the second one, but it's not going to be as good as some people think it's going to be. I was bad at the first one. The second one's going to be a train wreck. But that will be coming. Basically, solo videos are going to come back in, sometimes skits, because I used to do skits to ring in when I was going to do a game. Like when I was going to do Danganronpa the first time, the first game, I did a skit the day before it. But at the end of it was like, oh, hey, and we're playing Danganronpa soon. So I'll probably bring those back because those are kind of fun. Oh, man, I look horrible. None of y'all for like 11 minutes was going to tell me how horrible I look in the... I look exhausted. So let's wrap this up. In short, that's going to be a thing. The blabbermouth thing, because Thankmas, that's what we're going to also talk about. On Thankmas, we raised the most money we've ever raised for a charity stream. We've done 3 charity streams now. And don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative of the other ones too. We raised 100 both times. This time, we raised $380. Y'all came together and did that. Y'all did that. I was streaming, sure, but y'all did that. And that was great. And then Table Flip did his own stream, and he also raised $100, and I made a deal. The video's still up. I said I would do a Blabbermouth-esque video if y'all made Table hit his goal. Now, is it probably going to be regrettable? Sure, but I am a man of my word. At some point when I figure out how to organize that, because I want to make sure people have a place. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want there to be a place where people can put their ideas, or put their quotes or whatever somewhere. Maybe I'll use a server for that. I don't know yet. So they can get their ideas in. That way I can then do that, and then I'll, at some point in the near future, I'll probably put that together, and then I'll record that video, and it'll probably get clipped out of context, and it'll probably be horrible. But you know what? I'm okay with that because it was for charity. So, you know, at the end of the day, if that's the case, so be it. But that means me and Table combined for about $500 almost of charity, and that's amazing. So thank you guys for that on both ends, and that's incredible. So with that being said, I am probably going to end the video and say, hey, again, try as best as you can. Obviously 2022, is probably going to have negatives. Even some of the best years we've ever had probably had some negatives, right? I don't like to dwell on it, like I said, but 2015, if we remove that one incident, was actually a great year up until that moment, unfortunately. But 2016, for example, for me had, at least in the first beginning part, a lot of good stuff, a lot of the foundations of how I started YouTube to begin with, and found a hobby that I really enjoyed until some stuff went downhill in the mid to later part of that year. But it's all good now because I had a happy ending. So just like 2017, as much as I said it was a terrible year, once we got to October, late October onwards, it became actually a pretty okay year. So you got to look for the positives. And one of those is celebrate yourself. That's what I'm going to end the video on. Celebrate yourself, all right? I'm not saying don't be humble. I'm not saying you got to humble brag. But sometimes people are guilty, just in general, even myself, if I admit, of not building up themselves enough. Themselves enough. This video has to end. This is exhausting. What I mean is just like celebrate your small victories. Why not? All right. If you do something good, or you accomplish something that was hard for you to do, or you accomplish something that was easy for you to do because you do it very well, celebrate it. I'm not saying throw it in people's faces, but it's okay to be happy that you successfully did something that you've been trying to do for a while, or maybe not even a while, but you thought you couldn't do, and it turns out you can do it. Or is it something you've been practicing in secret and you're finally getting, comfortable doing it more publicly? Or maybe you're not there yet, but in secret, you're starting to feel good about how well it is that you're doing the thing. Or maybe even work's finally going well for once and it's odd. Maybe it makes no sense. Maybe you were able to tie your shoes. I don't know. I celebrate it. All right. Maybe it was just a simple fact you were able to put one leg and the other leg of the pants and you're wearing pants and it's great because you did it. Whatever, how simple it is. And some of you are so, you know what? I just realized when I'm saying all that stuff, some of you, if you're wearing shoes, you took your shoes off because I said that. Great. All right. That's how counter some of you guys are, and I understand that. But the point that I'm making in this video is just like, hey, grab your small victories, because 2022, like 2020 and 2021, even if there are positives you can take away from there, we'll probably have some things that are not so great, so to speak. Even if they're just migraine headache days, they'll probably be in there. Even if 2022, we look back and it actually was a really great rebound Jesus in the morning. Rebound year. All right. Yeah. So this video carried on a lot longer than I wanted it to. And so I'm going to end it by saying thank you so much for watching the video. And by the love of God, literally the love of God, please look at yourself in a more positive light this year. Look at some of the things you do in a positive light this year. Even if it's something as simple as like a video game, right? I know I jokingly call the Kyle Perico. There's I call the table flip route and the capstan route. All right. And I call them that because those two are really good at doing that, for example. So for those two, for example, celebrate how good y'all are at doing that. All right. Even if it's something that simple, it doesn't have to advance society. This video needs to end. I need to go back to sleep for like 18 hours. But take care of yourselves, everybody. I'm going to see a lot of y'all real soon, one way or the other. But yes, this has been this video, and I'm going to end it trying something a little different for the backdrop too. I don't know. I like the green screen, and I like chroma keying stuff in. Sometimes when it comes to things that are like dark, like my hat, or even if I wear a dark shirt, even the microphone, and sometimes the beard, which I do need to shave. I know. It starts making those like fuzzy, and so sometimes I'm going to experiment with having just a solid backdrop. I got the ring light, so it'll improve the quality regardless, but yeah, that's also why I get to sit back here and kind of just lean back and chill with this video instead of having to be way up here in your face. Hello. That's it for this video. Dang, a 20-minute video? I should say at the beginning of the video that this video is something you can watch or listen to in the background. Don't have to watch. My bad. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to actually, you know what? We're going to do that right now after the outro. So thank you so much for watching this video. You don't have to like, comment, subscribe, none of that jazz. Happy 2022. Happy New Year, hopefully. Hopefully it's on the up and up. Hopefully it's more positive. I'm not saying you can't be critical of yourself, by the way. And when I say be positive about yourself, I'm not saying you just got to be optimistic and positive about like everything. I'm just saying when you do something good, it's okay to say, hey, I did a good job. Hey, I'm good at this. All right. Do that more often in 2022. So I'm going to get out of here. I don't know which video will be next. I really don't. Immediate future is probably more backlog stuff, to be honest. We're just going to have to wait and see. So until this time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for voice cracks and for watching. Bye-bye.